I'm 32 years old, and I have been thinking about starting a family, or at least like a family is something that I do want to have sometime, hopefully soon. Um, but I've always wondered, like, what can I do in the meantime to ensure that I can show up to be the best wife, the best mother, and just for me, um, show up in a good way for my family. And one of the ways I've been thinking about that is my health and my wellness. What are the things I can do to make sure that from a health and wellness perspective, I can be my best self for my husband and for my family? And so the things I've been thinking about or like have been doing are making sure I'm doing my routine test. So at certain ages, there are certain tests that you're supposed to take as a woman or doing routinely. In your 20s and your 30s, certain like routine checkups include screening for high blood pressure, diabetes, mental health, skin care, skin cancer, cervical cancer, all those other things, STDs, STIs. Those are the things that we should be, as women who fall into the 20s and 30s, should be checking routinely just to make sure that they are good. For me in particular, I have a family history of diabetes. My dad was fortunate enough to find out that he was diabetic when he was 35. And he found that out when he was going for an employment test. And that was where he found out that he was diabetic. And that's how he started to, since that time, have been taking care of his health from a diabetes perspective. And on my mom's side, we also have a history of diabetes as well. And so for me, I also recently found out that I am prone to have diabetes. So there are times I can be pre-diabetic if I don't take care of my lifestyle or make certain lifestyle changes. So I'm an entrepreneur. I work really hard or all the time, and sometimes it would require me to sit in a place for long periods of time. I don't really have the best diet, so I started going to the gym more frequently. I've lost over 30 pounds, so I'm really excited about that. I have been doing my regular HbA1c test, and that's where they check to see if you are diabetic or pre-diabetic. So I've been doing that pretty regularly, and I'm so happy to say that I'm good to go on that front, or I've been managing that really well. Another thing that I've been doing is that I've been taking care of my mental health, so I've been going to therapy. Therapy is very important to me because it really affects everything else from your body. It's like the status of your or the state of your brain, and your brain controls everything your body does, like being able to wake up, being able to go to sleep, being able to eat, digest your food. And once you don't have good mental health, it really impacts everything else about your body and just your overall well-being. So that's another thing I've been doing just to make sure that I am good from a health or mental health perspective. And so I would just really encourage women who are like me in their early 30s or even like older 20s, and are thinking about starting a family. I think the best thing that you can do for yourself, for your spouse, and for your children is to ensure that you are healthy and have great well-being. So for your routine test, there's different kind of checks that you can do. You can do like an annual checkup, and that will be inclusive of everything, like just making sure they're checking your vitals or doing like a series of like diagnostic tests, just certain things just to make sure you're good. That can happen once a year. For other tests that need more routine or need to be done more frequently because you might be prone to a chronic condition like diabetes, you want to check them at least every 3 months. So for me, I get my HbA1c test screening done every 3 months. The good thing is that I actually have people who come to my home, they pick up my sample, and I get my results and my computer and my email. I don't have to leave my home. And that's really important for me as someone who's really busy and may not really want to go out in Lagos traffic to go to a lab. So that's another test. But yeah, you can do that every 3 months. But it really just depends on the kind of screening that you want to do. You can check in with your general physician and they can tell you like the kind of test that you should be taking, how often you should be doing them. So if you would actually like someone to come to your home and take up a sample and you really don't want to step in legless traffic to go to a diagnostic center, you can check us out at www.clapia.com and we can send someone to your home, pick up a sample that will run your test for you in the comfort of your home.